Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Simply Michelle with yours truly, Michelle here. So let's hop right into this. We have another book review. What book am I going to review today? Well, let's just have a look. So today I wanted to talk about Michael Todd's book, Relationship Goals: How to Win at Dating, Marriage, and Sex. So this book actually ended up being a number one New York Times bestseller. So let's get into this, shall we? I'm still in the process of reading this book. I haven't completely finished, so I'm going to be honest about it. But what I've read in regards to the book so far, it's really good, and I think it's a great read, especially if you are someone who wants to get back out into the dating world and you have hopes of finding your kingdom spouse, your husband, your life partner who you want to spend the rest of your life with. And so basically, Michael Todd is basically giving us a play-by-play of how this is done. And I do have some things from the book that I've highlighted, things that I've read already, okay, that I've highlighted that really stood out to me that I wanted to discuss in regards to this book, okay? And I like how he starts off in order. So he starts in order of, single to dating, from dating to marriage, and then from marriage to sex. So it is in that order. If you are someone who is traditional, and you are a faith-based person, and you are someone who prefers to do it God's way, then I highly recommend this book for you. And then not only that, he gets really candid in this book about a lot of things. He doesn't hold anything back. That's one of the things I like about it. It's not a lot of fluff. It's not a lot of fluff. And one of the things about the book that I appreciate is the tone of the book. The book is written kind of like a conversation, like he's actually having a personal conversation with you. So it's not like all preachy and teachy. It's something that's, like he's mentoring you, or, having a conversation with you. So that's another thing about the book that I like as well. It says, God created you to be in relationship with others. Even if you're introverted, you're shy, you've been hurt before, or you're just kind of over the whole needing other people thing. And it's a good thing too. Have the courage to say, God wants relationship for me. He wants you to have a best friend, even though the last one stabbed you in the back. He wants you to have pastors and mentors who create a safe place to grow and become. He wants you to be in a marriage that works and is marked by love, honor, respect, and fun. Granted, your past relationships might have been, well, the opposite of that. But God is a redeemer, so he can take whatever is broken and jacked up and work it for your good. All right. And then it goes on to say, two people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help. But someone who falls alone is in real trouble. Likewise, two people lying close together can keep each other warm. But how can one be warm alone? A person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but two can stand back to back and conquer. You can usually tell whether a relationship is from God just by looking at this one qualification. Does this relationship help me? Think through all your close relationships and ask yourself that question about each one. We tend to tolerate so many relationships that are taken away from us, stealing our peace, ravaging our joy, and keeping us up worrying at night. Why? You might say, but they're my friends and they're so fly. Okay, but if they're so fake, you need to let them go. If the people around you are keeping you stuck in your chains, it doesn't take divine intervention or a miraculous sign from God to reveal to you that those relationships aren't helping you. Many of us have experienced poisonous relationships in some way or other, and it may have negatively affected our desire to have human connection at all, to ever have human connection at all. Let me encourage you, don't allow the pain from your past relationships to make you forfeit your future ones. Let me tell you, this right here, I can totally and completely relate to, and I'm sure there are quite a few of you out there who probably can as well. How many of us have been in a relationship that was toxic and it was poisonous, and we kept holding on to it, hoping that things were going to get better or hoping that things were going to change, only for things to get worse. We kept pushing things under the rug, or we tried to ignore it. A lot of us were probably like even in denial. We just did not want to see the truth for what it was until we had to get to a point where we had no choice but to keep it real with ourselves and just face the facts that this isn't the type of relationship that I need to be in. This isn't healthy. This does not benefit me in any type of way. And not that you go into a relationship looking to benefit off of the other person, but it is reciprocal. It is reciprocal, but it's like this isn't healthy. It's stressing me. It's worrying me. I'm not happy. I voice my concerns and they don't listen. Things like that. And just like he's saying, it doesn't have to be just like intimate relationships. It can also be friendships as well. It can even be like family members. And sometimes that's one of the hardest things to do, especially when you've gotten on this journey with people, right? And you've gotten to know someone. And then slowly but surely, they just start to show pieces of themselves that are not so desirable. And you're kind of looking like, okay, like I said, you kind of brush it off at first in the beginning because you try to give that person the benefit of the doubt, or you want to give them a chance to prove themselves or just right their wrongs. But that never seems to be the case. And a lot of times what ends up happening is that we grow these emotional bonds with a lot of people, like even friends, and that makes it hard for us to disconnect from certain people because of the history or because of what you went through with that person, even though that situation was not healthy. Like, it keeps us tied to that person. So most definitely I have been in those situations. Yeah. And that's a good way to tell whether or not a relationship is from God. Does this relationship help me? Does it help you grow? Does it hold you accountable? Does it help you grow? Does it speak the truth to you and not what you want to hear? Things like that. All right, so let's move along here. So another portion of this book that I wanted to read was when so we're still in the before the person chapter section of the book. And so he says, first comes singleness. Okay. So he has this little diaphragm. It's like singleness, dating, engagement, marriage, love children, like in that order. That's why I said if you are someone who is traditional, and if you are someone who wants to do things God's way, I feel like this would be a good book, because he's definitely giving you like this step by step. So anyway, it says first comes singleness. I know this is not a popular one. Not many people I know are happy to live without a boyfriend, girlfriend, much less a husband and wife. But actually, singleness could be the most important time of your life, because it's a prime time when God reveals to you who you are. You become self-aware, you find purpose, the future begins to come into focus. We've talked about how you have purpose before the person, and this is the phase when it happens. I wholeheartedly agree with this 100%. Your single season is really your season to come into who you are as an individual, and to learn yourself as an individual, your likes, your dislikes, what you will put up with, what you won't put up with. And it's also just a good time to like it's said in the book, become more self-aware, finding your purpose. I feel like this also helps with knowing your worth, because the more time you spend on yourself, and the more time that you take out to do the necessary healing work, reflect on the things that need to change, reflect on the things that you need to improve upon, you understand your worth and your value as an individual much more than you did before, because you're investing in yourself, like you're putting that work in yourself. So I wholeheartedly agree with that one. All right. So this is what he says. He says, okay, and this is for those that are in their single season, but you're hoping that you're gonna have, your husband, right, in the future. He says, so what I'm advocating is intentional dating, spending time with another in a God-honoring way to try to find out if that person is right for you. If you find somebody who is walking with God and the two of you want to get married, there should be an engagement. That's the period of time when a couple are committed and planning toward their wedding, when they will enter into holy matrimony before God. It's a good time to talk deeply and develop plans and lay a groundwork for your future life together. Whatever relational season you're in, don't just be in it, embrace it. This is what I like to hear. I'm single and I'm living my best life. I'm dating and I don't know yet if she's the one, but I'm loving what we've got right now. We're engaged and we can't wait to get married. We're married and falling more in love than ever. We've got kids and we can't believe how rich and full our life is. The kids are grown and out of the house, but we still see them a lot. Meanwhile, we're rediscovering each other in this empty nest, and it's peaceful and warm like a glow. He says, embrace the season you're in, thank God for it, and make the most of it. Remember, God wants you to have relationships, healthy relationships, rewarding relationships, relationships that give you an opportunity to grow and serve and make a difference in the world. I like that. All right. Intentional dating, though, is being purposeful. It's fun too, but it preserves purity. Most importantly, it's driven by a clear goal to determine whether the person you are dating is right for you to marry. It's all about moving toward the covenant of marriage with the right person in the right way in the right time. So basically, he's talking about dating with intentions, not just casually dating, just to sleep with someone and go from one person to the next person. And it makes me think about what I mentioned in a previous video that I did where I mentioned something about the purpose of dating, like like the whole purpose of dating and courting was to get married in the first place. It wasn't just to casually hop from person to person. Although you are looking for a suitor who you want to spend, the rest of your life with. So of course you may date, different people. However, um, it wasn't meant for you to just casually have sex with this one and that one and that one and this one. It was only for you to like just get to know that person, their values, their goals, morals, you know, ethics, things like that. But it wasn't for you to like have sex with them. That's not the purpose of dating. It isn't to say, "Oh, we're dating," and hook up with this person and sleep with them, and then jump to the next person and say, "Oh, just someone that I'm seeing," but you're actually sleeping with that person. That you know defeats the whole purpose of it. It can taint it in a way, actually. So there is a section in the book where he has aimlessness in dating. It says recreational dating is like I'll date him, then I'll date him, then I'll date him, or her. It's one night stands, impulsive infatuations, short term relationships, and overlapping love affairs, usually with plenty of drama and complications. It's focused pretty much all on the present, with little thought about the future, because you don't take it seriously regarding commitment and covenant. It's very easy to get casual about the physical. That stuff sticks with you forever. You can be in a crowded room and somebody introduces you to another person. "Oh, I know him. We used to date." Possibly meaning you hooked up, or she's a friend with benefits. That might be. Even if the person you're with is somebody you've been seeing for a while now. If somebody asked you, "What do you see in your future?" you just have a vague, blurry image. "Yeah, one day we might get married. I think, maybe." This kind of dating isn't harmless. It can be devastating. Just think about it. How many relationships have you or people you know gotten into where you have invested time and effort into something that would only take from you? Your heart gets hardened. Your self-esteem shrinks. You find yourself moving further and further from God. And there's more. Open your heart to the wrong person and you let him discourage your dream. You used to be passionate about something, but you got with the wrong person and it started to crush what God placed inside you. The relationship is over, but you're left in the place where you don't believe in yourself anymore. You lost time, you lost vision, and you lost hope because you were in a wrongly aligned relationship. So I feel like one of the things that we need to work on, this is a good discussion topic actually, is intentional dating. Dating with intentions and not allowing temptations and hookups to take us to a place where we end up going down this rabbit hole, losing sight of what it is that we're trying to do, getting entangled and caught up in some emotional drama that turns out to be a heartbreaking situation after the fact. So for those of us out there who still want to, find our husband, we're gonna have to get out and date, but this is where knowing your value and your worth comes in. That this is where having your standards really plays a huge part. And even if you get disrespected for having your standards and your beliefs, Even if someone tries to drag you or bring you down or say, you know, you're lying or try to degrade you, this is the time more than ever to stand on business. And it's also a huge, huge, huge red flag. You know, cross that person off your list. Like, I don't care how sexy they are. I don't care how buff they are, how chiseled they are, how, you know, the muscles. I don't care if they fit your entire description. If they can't respect the fact that you don't want to fall into that trap of temptation, temptation, then that's your sign to walk away. I'm not just speaking to my viewers out there. This is for me as well. Okay, this is for me as well. Most definitely. I feel like it's very important that, especially as women, that we keep our standards, because there's so many men out there. And you have some women out there too that really make it hard for the people who want to do things the right way. And no, I haven't always been this way. But, you know, I have grown a lot. I have matured a lot, you know, and I've completely changed, you know, from who I was 10, 20 years ago versus now. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Take those little nuggets of wisdom, take those lessons that you learned, and this time, you know, when we apply it, let's do it, you know, the right way. And, you know, rejection does hurt, but, and this is going to sound so cliche because we've heard it all before, rejection is our protection. So I had to get to a place personally where I stopped allowing rejection to make me feel like I was worthless or like I didn't amount to anything, when I knew that I was worth it, when I knew what I brought to the table. You know, I know the type of person that I am. Don't let anyone gaslight you and project their foolishness and their mess on you. You know, try to make you feel like you're less than because you won't cave in or give in to whatever their crazy idea is of, you know, two people being together, whatever the case may be. Rejection is always your protection. When somebody turns away from you, they are doing you a favor. Okay? They're doing you a favor. That is not the time for you to run down behind them and try to see if you can prove yourself to them, try to see if you can prove them wrong. That is not the time for you to take it as a challenge. Oh, he's challenging me. No. Take it as clear, as like a clear sign from God to go in the other direction, not think twice about it, and don't look back. Don't look back. And if they try to circle back around to you, cut them off at the neck. Seriously, like, don't even entertain it. Because 9 times out of 10, they're either coming back to try to play some games with you, or they realized that you were who you said you were, but they realized it too late. And no. So, yeah. Hey, let them call you whatever they want to. Okay? Just because they say something about you doesn't make it so. Like I said, I'm still reading the rest of the book, but so far this is a really good book. Okay? I really like it a lot. And he also, the thing that I also like too is that he has like little interviews and stuff that he's done with couples, and he's gotten their perspectives and their viewpoints on their relationships. And he also talks about his own relationship as well, and the dating process that he went through when he married his wife. So I feel like it's an awesome book. I do feel like you should check this book out. And just a FYI, I am not getting paid to promote this book, nothing like that. This is just a little segment that I have on my YouTube channel because I am a book lover. I do like to read books, and relationship books are not the only books that I will be reviewing, just a FYI as well. But yeah, I did feel like it was, worthy of mentioning. But all right, you all, if you have read this book already, you can drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts and your opinions on this book. And if you've actually followed any of the dating rules and tips that was provided in this book by Michael Todd. Okay. And if you have not purchased this book, you can definitely check it out. You can always go to your local library first and see if your local library has it before you decide to, fully invest into it. But it's a great book and I like it a lot. So, all right, y'all, that's it. Until next time, everyone, take care. And if you like my content, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. All right. And also, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Okay. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.